By the face mask. You know, any of y'all have kids that play football? I guess sons play football. Okay. Anybody breathing? Not a lot of this face. But you know, when a coach really wants to get a kid's attention, he likes it on that face mask. And that's what Rodney did to me. And I'm thankful each and every day that he had the character and the backbone to have that tough conversation with me. You know, it was a tough conversation that got me to take a look at this opportunity. My sponsor said, if you want to see your kids graduate college, you need this. So what can we surmise by all those things? One of the things it takes to be successful in this business is to be coachable. I wasn't. I thought I knew more than a lot of people. They can communicate and tell me, you can communicate all day long, but if they don't listen, it doesn't matter. To be successful, you have to be determined. We've heard about what happens when if you're determined. If you refuse to quit, you can be successful. If you're coachable, you can be successful. You got to be consistent. You can be successful. When I got started, I thought I knew better than a lot of guys. Rodney Arms asked me one day point blank. He said, how big's your check? Your way works so well. How much are you earning? I didn't get one last week. He said, I did. Automatically, mine's bigger than yours. So, the point being, the entire time, my first year in the business, I did what was natural to me. Football's been a shaping force in my life. And I did what I did every day when I played football in this business. And that's why I got to be successful. I wasn't a running back, if you didn't know. I was an offensive lineman. Offensive linemen, they do one thing every day. Every play, an offensive lineman is going to get hit in the mouth. And you're going to do all the work. And then some very attractive, very nice, flashy guy is going to get all the glory. We got Chris running around here. Got Sims too. None of those guys get there unless they got a team behind them. That's how they get to the end zone. But the point being is, as I played in my playing days, I did what I did. I did what I did when I played. I got in the stance, took a 6-inch step, and pushed until I heard something tell me to stop, and then I reloaded and did it again. That's how this business works. If you want to overcome the adversity that you're facing, you got to go back and you got to use your tools. You got to ask the advice. You got to humble yourself and be coachable and ask people like Mike Sims. Like Rodney, like Chris. The list goes on and on. You got Kevin Bradshaw, Tommy Sack. You got guys out here that want you to be more successful than you want to be. And they'll tell you how to overcome those things. One of my favorite people that I deal with on a daily basis is Pat Moulton. And Pat, we've known each other, I guess, about 18 months. And when I started working with Pat, he asked me to. He said, "Will you help me? Will you coach me? Will you teach me?" Which I don't know why, because I was just figuring this thing out as I went. I got lucky and found somebody who found a bunch of people. That's rule number 3 or 4. If you want to be successful, go find a Jason Keltner, a Robbie Davis. You go find a Rick Staley. Find somebody like that. I found a guy named Terry Birdsong. But as Terry was being developed by the people that I remember making a phone call. I called Chris. I said, Chris, this guy's got talent. He's got potential. The talent, well, he knows the talent, potential put together. The guy. The talent is what I said. I said, this guy. I said, I don't want to mess it up. And so Rodney and Chris started working it because it was football season. Terry's a basketball coach. I was coaching football. They worked with Terry. And while they were working with Terry, I was learning they was working with me. And that raised that leadership lid, like Rodney was talking about. And great things started happening. But the entire time I was still personal development. I was still trying to grow. I was still trying to learn and do the things that I needed to do. Because the one thing I said I wouldn't want to do is quit. I was a diamond and called Rodney Arms frustrated and ready to quit. And he said, Britten, listen to yourself. And then he hung up. You gotta know when somebody owns your time. I'm kind of an emotional guy. I can cry at the drop of a hat. People think, they think I'm mad all the time. I usually just think that I'm pretty emotional. You're doing a rap. And if you're emotional in this business, it'll kill you because it's a roller coaster. So you got to learn to be even playing. The adversity that's out there. I want you to think about it. Let's look at the worst case scenario in your business. You chunk down $1,320 to come in as a builder too. Worst case scenario. You've got 6 months worth of product. If you never do anything with this business, you'll be in the best health you've ever been in 6 months. All the other things that could happen to you in this business have happened to you since you have been walking, talking, and being you. Every one of you have been told no. Some of you have been told no and hit. That won't happen in this business. Every one of you have had someone say, well, I like them better than you, so that's who I want to spend my time with. Every one of you has had somebody break up with you and go somewhere else. Every one of you have friends that were there one day and gone tomorrow. All of those adversities, when put into proper perspective, are nothing compared to the potential and what can be achieved by pursuing this goal and the dreams of this business relentlessly. And you have to ask yourself one simple question. Is it worth it? What are you willing to give up in order to get to where you want to be? Because you can't make monumental strides without some sacrifices. You got to give some things up. I love Rick Staley. I did not know this until about 6 months ago that I had a huge impact on his business one day when I said something to him. That goes back, you never know what you say when somebody will take and run with it. But he said something on Facebook the other day that I love about this business. He said, I've missed countless things, family dinners, church, ball games. I missed all kinds of stuff. But because of that, I did that for 2 years. But because of that, now hang on, before we get to the point of what he's saying, think about the things that he did. Is that adversity giving those things up? Think about that. Think about the things that people give up on a daily basis. Think about the sleep they miss and things like that. Because they're helping their people grow their business. Because they're dedicated to the people they've got. But he said, I've given up all these things so that I can do what I want, when I want, with who I want that can get off work and go with me. That's powerful. And this guy probably should be up here instead of me because he's had more adversity than I have. But in closing up, what I'll say is this. The adversity that you have to overcome won't kill you. It won't put you in the ground. It won't batter you, bruise you, or scar you. But the things that you're able to accomplish and the things that you will be able to do for the ones that you love the most will be worth every second of what you have to go through when you get there.
Woo! Amen! Amen! Woo!
Now, it's a big, big, exciting thing for me. Now, I get to introduce a business partner of mine, somebody that I've gotten to know very well over the past few months. She has a story that her attitude and her success and her growth is the definition of perseverance. She's somebody that I share her story. Anytime I come across somebody in a similar situation to her, that I find a way to make people's situations similar to hers so I can share her story. Hey, they don't know what you don't tell them, right? She is an outstanding educator. She's an outstanding trainer. She's an outstanding presenter. Doing some phenomenal things in this business. That's Miss Keisha Ashley from Birmingham, Alabama.